billion-dollar ghost town, a historical mystery story. They called it the town too rich to die, a place where fortunes once flowed like rivers of gold, where men traded dust for dreams, and where every sunrise promised a new millionaire. But today, only wind and silence remain, the echo of $1 billion buried deep beneath abandoned tunnels. This is the true story of Bodie, California, America's most haunted and astonishing ghost town. If you drive along Highway 395 in the desolate high desert east of the Sierra Nevada mountains, you'll see a dusty road veer into nothingness. Follow that rough, lonely trail long enough, and you'll reach a town frozen in time. Its wooden buildings leaning against the relentless wind, its windows still holding the secrets of a past that refuses to fade. But to understand Bodie, you must travel back to the beginning, to greed, violence, and unimaginable wealth. The discovery that changed everything. In 1859, a man named William S. Bodie stumbled upon an outcropping of gold-bearing ore while prospecting for silver. He and his companions had been driven by rumors of riches after the massive Comstock lode discovery in Nevada. Bodie's find was modest at first, just flakes and small nuggets, but it was enough to start a settlement. Sadly, Bodie never lived to see what would become of his discovery. Legend says he froze to death in a sudden blizzard just months later, leaving behind only a handful of hopeful miners and a dream. But the dream grew. As news spread, hopeful miners and desperate fortune seekers arrived in droves. By the 1870s, Bodie exploded into a booming mining metropolis. Over 10,000 people crowded into this remote mountain town, where the saloons nearly outnumbered the homes, and where the gold beneath the earth seemed endless. Money poured into Bodie like water. It wasn't long before newspapers and businessmen began calling it a billion-dollar camp. A town built on gold and guns. The Bodie that emerged was not a peaceful town of hard-working families. No, Bodie was the Wild West turned up to its maximum volume. The town boasted over 60 saloons, gambling halls that never closed, brothels filled with danger and scandal, gunfights so frequent that people barely blinked. Newcomers were greeted with a chilling joke. "Goodbye, God, I'm going to Bodie." Life expectancy was short. Coffins were common. The church bells rang more often for funerals than for weddings. Crime was as abundant as the gold. Stagecoach robberies, nightly shootings, gang warfare. Bodie earned its reputation as one of the most lawless towns in America. Yet the chaos only seemed to attract more people. Everyone believed they could strike it rich before the darkness swallowed them. The golden heart of Bodie was the Standard Consolidated Mine, a massive industrial operation that carved deep into the earth. It produced more than $100 million in gold and silver by today's value. The mine's crush mills, huge iron machines that smashed ore into dust, ran day and night, lighting up the town like a blazing furnace. Money wasn't the only energy in Bodie. Electricity was too. Bodie became a technological marvel. In 1892, it received the first long-distance electrical transmission system in the United States. High-voltage power traveled miles to reach the mine, turning Bodie into a shining symbol of modern engineering. From the muddy frontier to cutting-edge metropolis, all within a generation. But under the surface, disaster brewed. When the gold ran out,
As quickly as Bodie had risen, it began to fall. The gold veins thinned, investors fled, prices crashed. By the 1890s, fewer men believed Bodie could survive. The only blazing economic engine sputtered. Factories shut down, families packed wagons, buildings stood empty. Then tragedy struck. The fire that ended everything. On July 25, 1892, a massive fire erupted. Some say from a careless worker in the mill. Flames raced across the wooden buildings, consuming homes, stores, and memories in minutes. The town rebuilt, stubbornly holding on to hope. But then in 1932, another fire, even bigger, destroyed most of what remained. It was the final blow. The railroad left, the mines closed, the last residents drifted away. By the 1940s, Bodie was officially a ghost town. A town trapped in time. Despite epidemic decay, Bodie never completely vanished. Many buildings survived. Saloons with bottles still lined up behind dusty bars. Homes with plates still set on dinner tables. Classrooms with chalk still resting on wooden desks. It's as though everyone suddenly left and the town froze. Today, Bodie is preserved in what historians call a state of arrested decay, not restored to beauty, but protected from collapse. Visitors walk through a time capsule. Rusted minecarts remain where they were abandoned. Curtains flutter in the broken windows of silent homes. Dusty pianos sit where joyous music once played. Children's toys lie scattered, untouched for decades. The past is not gone in Bodie. It lingers, and so, some say, do the souls. The curse of Bodie. Locals whisper that Bodie is cursed. They call it the curse of the Bodie gold. According to the legend, anyone who steals anything, even a pebble, will suffer terrible misfortune. Park rangers report receiving packages from all around the world, items mailed back from terrified tourists who swear that bad luck followed them after taking just a little souvenir. Some return rocks, others send rusted nails or pieces of machinery. All include desperate letters begging forgiveness. Ghost sightings are common. A woman in a white dress peering from a window. Children laughing when no children are near. Footsteps in empty houses. Bodie is a reminder that wealth does not come without a cost, and some fortunes should remain buried. $1 billion in the dust. Historians estimate that the mines of Bodie produced the equivalent of over $1 billion in gold. Much of that fortune likely remains underground, unreachable, or lost forever in collapsed mine shafts. What was once the symbol of American wealth and wild ambition is now a national historic site, silent, eerie, and unforgettable. Millions once dreamed of Bodie. Now Bodie dreams alone. Why Bodie still matters. Bodie is more than just a ghost town. It is a monument to human ambition, technological progress, the dangers of greed, and the unpredictable rise and fall of boom towns. It represents a chapter of America that changed the world, a time when courage was measured by risk and the frontier felt infinite. And though fire, time, and abandonment tried to erase Bodie, the town still stands, not as a thriving city, but as a warning. The higher the gold rush takes you, the harder the fall. If you ever find yourself wandering the lonely road toward Bodie, you may hear the wind whisper through the empty streets. You may feel the weight of lives lived fast and lost young. You may wonder what still sleeps beneath your feet, gold or ghosts. But one thing is certain. Bodie may be a ghost town, but it is far from dead.